Divine Nutrition Products believes in supplying the consumer with the highest quality products available. Their natural isolate line of protein is comprised of whey protein isolate made from grass-fed protein, featuring brand new flavors like vanilla peanut butter and pound cake. Divine Nutrition Products is the preferred supplement of rising IFBB Pro Figure champion Sydney Gillen, winner of the 2016 Miami Beach Muscle Pro.
Hey, this is Sydney Gillen, IFBB Figure Pro champion. I love Divine Nutrition products, especially the pound cake as soon as I get that one, but my favorite right now is vanilla peanut butter. It's so delicious.
Visit us at divinenutritionproducts.com. All right, welcome everybody to another edition of the Florida Physique Report. My name is John Hansen and we are broadcasting live from the Powerhouse Gym in downtown Tampa, Florida. Today is Friday, July 15th, 2016. And on today's show, we got a big show. Got a lot of contest reports to go over. First of all, we got the big Southern States contest, which took place last weekend in Fort Lauderdale. This was their 37th year, I believe, promoting the show. One of the biggest shows in Florida and one of the best shows in Florida. I always look forward to going to the Southern States because the competition is like national level contest. And it's always great in every division. It's always a great show. Peter Potter, of course, the promoter of the show, along with his co-promoters Maria Belando and Manuel Mayer. And they do a fantastic job. It's a two-day show. It took place this year on July 8th and 9th. And on the 8th, which was Friday, they do the bikini, the figure, the men's physique, and I think the fitness. And then on Saturday, they do all the bodybuilding. So they do the men's bodybuilding, including the Masters men's bodybuilding. And then they do the women's bodybuilding, also women's physique, and the new classic physique. So Saturday was a really big show, especially with the addition of classic physique. Also on the show, I want to talk about the results of the Miami Classic, which took place, of course, in Boca Raton, Florida, and that was on July 2nd, the week before the Southern States, because we never went over the results of that. And I want to go over the results of the NPC Team Universe, which took place in New Jersey, also that same weekend on July 1st and 2nd. And we had quite a few Florida athletes competing in that show, and some of them did really well, so I want to mention them. This weekend we got the NPC Ancient City Classic, which takes place in St. Augustine, Florida. Gene Schlossberg and Pete Fancher, our Central District Chairman, is the promoters for that competition. So I will be out there on Saturday to check out the results of that contest. And that'll be on, again, the 16th out in St. Augustine, Florida. All right, so before we go over the results of the Southern States contest, I want to cover the Miami Classic, which took place on July 2nd in Boca Raton, Florida, the week before the Southern States. They had 53 competitors, pretty good show, some really good quality. They started with the men's bodybuilding masters, and the over 50 went to Anthony Licari, who had a really thick physique. Over 40 went to Oscar Juarez, frequent competitor in the Southern Florida area. The teen men's bodybuilding went to William Vieta. The novice bodybuilding went to Julio Meville, M-E-V-I-L, Julio Meville. And Julio had a great physique, very refined, very ripped. And as we'll see, he did really well in the Southern States as well. Then they went into the open men's bodybuilding, the lightweight, another really excellent competitor, Dorian Fernandez. Not a big competitor, but great symmetry and really ripped. Middleweight, Julio Meville again won there. And Edgar Hernandez won the light heavyweights, another great physique. Edgar was really shredded. And Chris Evangelista won the heavyweights, but the overall went to Edgar Hernandez. So congratulations to him. I believe that was his first overall win, and Edgar also did really well in the Southern States, as we'll see in a minute when I go over the results of that. In the Classic Physique, Byron Garcia was the winner there. The Women's Physique Open went to Patricia Barboza. And then in the figure competition, the Masters over 30 went to Julia Fernandez. Julia looked really good. Then moving into the figure open, Valeria Delgado Torres was the winner in Class A, and Julia Fernandez again won in Class B, and the overall figure went to Julia Fernandez. So congratulations to Julia. She did really well, winning the Masters and the Open figure at the Miami Classic. Then in the men's physique in the Masters division, Lazara Allman was the winner in the over 50. Julian Diaz won the over 30 Class A, and Luis Sanchez won the over 30 Class B, and Luis Sanchez was the overall winner there. And then in the novice men's physique, Brian Garcia was the novice winner with 12 competitors. That was a pretty big class. In the men's physique open, Ivan Gill was the winner in Class A, and Luis Sanchez was the winner in Class B, and Luis Sanchez again wins the men's physique open. So congratulations to him. He's doing really well this year. And then finally they finished with the bikini division. In the Masters division, over 30, Rosemarie Mendez was the winner there in Class A, and Bailey Battle was the winner in Class B, and then Rosemarie Mendez was the overall winner in the Bikini Masters. The novice bikini, again, Rosemarie Mendez wins over 12 competitors. And then in the open, they only had one class, unusual, but they only had Class A, and Rosemarie Mendez again wins over 8 other competitors in the bikini open. So Rosemarie Mendez did really, really well at the Miami Classic. So that was the results from that show. I also want to mention the Team Universe, which took place that same weekend on July 1st and 2nd, Friday and Saturday, a 2-day show. We had some Florida competitors who got their pro cards or did really well, so I have to give them a mention. First of all, I want to mention Nicole Gutierrez, who is the fiance of AJ Sims, the conditioning specialist. Nicole and AJ, both really good friends of mine, and Nicole cleaned up. She kicked ass, won the women's physique overall, so congratulations to her. She got her pro card, and I was able to catch up with Nicole at the Southern States a week later, and we did an interview. So if you look on our contest interview section at the Southern States day number 1, I did a really good interview with Nicole. She was very excited. I think it still was sinking in a week later, so that was fantastic. I know she was really worked hard for that. She hadn't competed in a couple years, so she trained specifically for that show, and it paid off. And I think she's going to take some time off again and get ready in the off season before she competes as a pro. In the fitness division, Nicole Niergarder, who just competed in a show in South Florida, I believe Maria Belando is her trainer, and Maria told me that Nicole was the youngest person to ever win her pro card in the fitness division. So congratulations to Nicole Niergarder, who won her pro card at the Team Universe in the fitness division. And then in the figure division, we had another winner from Florida, Hope Trask, who I just saw hand out trophies a couple weeks ago at Deke Warner Show, the Mid-Florida in Orlando. And Hope was in contest mode at the time, and she won her class in the figure, and she got her pro card. So congratulations to her. In the bikini division, Coralita Ashby won her pro card in the bikini open division. And then in the Masters men's bodybuilding, Marajan Lipsinik, who is a trainer. I believe he's in Orlando, and he trains a lot of competitors. Marajan's got a great physique. I saw him compete several years ago. Really, really thickly built, real massive guy. Came in really ripped, in great condition, and he won the middleweight class in the over 40 Masters men's bodybuilding. Hard to believe he's a middleweight because he's so big. So congratulations to Marajan, well deserved. I know he had a lot of his clients were cheering for him, so congratulations to him. He obviously knows what he's doing with it as a coach, because he now is a professional IFBB bodybuilder. I also want to mention Deborah Lindahl, who did really well, making the top 5 in the over 40 bikini for the first time. She's only been competing a couple years, so congratulations to her. So that was the results of the Team Universe. We had a couple of Florida competitors who did really well and got their pro cards. All right, let's go over the results of the big Southern States, which took place last weekend on July 8th and 9th. We'll go over day one, which took place on Friday, July 8th, last weekend. Really, really great contest. They started off with the fitness competition. Only 2 competitors in that, but the winner was very promising, Mariana Shariala, who's a young competitor, I believe only 20 years old, and she's got a gymnastics background. She was a professional gymnast. So she will now be competing in fitness competitions, and her goal is to go to the Olympia. She's got big hopes and dreams, so we wish her the best of luck. She came out and performed her routine again on Saturday night, and she did a really fantastic job. You could tell she really loves performing in front of a crowd. Then they started with the figure competition. They had an over 60 division, and that was won by Dr. Mimi O'Connell. Then the over 50 contest went to Viviana Smirelli, and Viviana has been really cleaning up in the over 50 division in the figure in Florida area. The Masters figure over 40 went to Charnice Bain, and she has also won quite a few competitions. And then the Masters figure over 30, a familiar competitor in the Florida area, Jordana Alanon, who hasn't competed at all yet this year. This was her first contest, but she really brought it again. Jordana has got really, really great shape and symmetry, and she's added some muscle mass over the years. So Jordana won the over 30, and then she, of course, won the figure overall, the Masters figure overall. Going into the novice figure, Maria Ruskowski, a very good-looking lady, she took first place in Class A. Class B in novice figure went to Jeannie Feldman, and she beat out Dekel Nesbitt, who really had some really good muscular development, especially her legs. And then the novice figure overall went to Jeannie Feldman. We go into the open figure class. They had a lot of competitors in the figure division this time, which was really good to see. In Class A, Jordana Alanon was the winner again. Class B went to Leslie Morris, another competitor who competes a lot in the southern Florida area. Charnice Bain won first place in Class D, and then Julia Fernandez, who did really well at the Miami Classic the week before, she wins Class D, but the overall, again, goes to Jordana Alanon. And I talked to Jordana after the contest. I interviewed her, and I don't believe she's a citizen, so she can't do the nationals, but she's going to do what a lot of bikini competitors who are not American citizens has done, which is try and win so many overall titles and then petition for her pro card. So we wish her the best of luck with that. All right, going into the men's physique, they started with the Masters competition. The over 50 went to Joseph Cannell, and the over 40 went to Eugene Zamora, who really had really good conditioning. And Eugene Zamora was the overall winner in the Masters men's physique. And I did an interview with Eugene after the show. He got a little emotional talking about his father, who died a couple years ago, and he said this victory was for him.
Yeah. I won this for my old man, who passed away a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay.
And it's for him.
So good for Eugene. And he's going to be switching over to the classic physique starting next year. Then the team men's physique, pretty competitive. Eduardo Soares was first place there, and Eduardo actually did good in the open competition too, because he crossed over. In the novice men's physique, Aaron Arreyes took first place in Class A. Pedro Guevara took first place in Class B, and that was a very, very tough class. And Class C went to Ruben Canis. And then the overall novice figure, 3 really good class winners, went to Ruben Canis. So congratulations to him. And then going into the very competitive men's physique open division, Ivan Gill was the winner in Class A. Sebastian Aguirre was the winner in Class B. Yasmani Zamora, another very familiar face in South Florida, he took first place in Class C. And another familiar face, Bogdan Yordanovic, who just did really well at the Tampa Bay Classic, he took first place in Class D. But the overall this time went to Sebastian Aguirre, so congratulations to him for winning the men's physique open overall. And they finished off on day one with the bikini division. They started off with the Masters. Bikini Masters over 50 went to Maria Albanese. The over 40 division went to Lakrita O'Neill. Over 30 division, they actually did it in 2 classes, Class A and Class B. Class A went to Marina Gatica, who was great to see her win. Marina's got a great body, great physique, and I've seen her compete many times on the Florida area, and she never took first place, but I think this time was her first time winning an overall. So congratulations to Marina for finally getting that first place victory. We did an interview with her after the show. And Class B in the Bikini Masters over 30 went to Ines Arque. But the overall Bikini Masters went to, as I said, Marina Gatica. So congratulations to her. I know she was very happy to win that. Then we go into the Team Bikini. That was pretty competitive as well. Samantha Bornstein, 18 years old, competing in her very first show, really impressed the judges, and she took the Teen Bikini. Then we go into the Novice Bikini in Class A. Samantha Bornstein wins again. She takes first place in the Novice Bikini. And Novice Bikini Class B, that went to Leonette Gonzalez, another familiar competitor in South Florida. And the Novice Bikini Class C went to Devin Johnson Payne, who is a competitor right here at the Powerhouse Gym in Tampa. So congratulations to Devin. It was great to see her take first place. But the Novice Bikini overall went to the teenager Samantha Bornstein, 18 years old, competing in her very first show, wins the teen and wins the novice. And then finally they finished off the night with the always very competitive Bikini Open. Bikini Open is always competitive, especially in a big show like the Southern States. So Samantha Bornstein, our teen and novice winner, goes into the Bikini Open, and she wins Class A. Just dominated this night. Marina Gatica, our Masters winner, wins Class B. Leonette Gonzalez, she wins Class C. And then Class D goes to the very impressive Giovanna McBride. And the overall, you're not going to believe this, our teen and novice winner, Samantha Bornstein, wins again. So what an impressive accomplishment and what a promising physique on Samantha Bornstein. 18 years old, competing in her very first show, does a big show, a national level qualifier like the Southern States, and she wins not only the teen, but also the novice overall and the open overall. So the judges were really, really impressed with Samantha, and she's obviously got a great future. So we look forward to seeing what she does in the future. All right, moving on to day number 2 of the Southern States, and they started off with the Masters men's bodybuilding, and wow, I got to tell you, I was really, really impressed with some of these Masters competitors. These guys really were in fantastic condition. Age is no boundary when it comes to bodybuilding, and these guys really proved it. First of all, they started with the over 70 class. How many competitions have an over 70 Masters bodybuilding class except the national level when you get to the Masters Nationals? So just amazing competition. Richard Rabin was the winner in the over 70 lightweight class, and Richard does not look anywhere near 70. And Sidney Outen was the winner in the heavyweight class of the over 70, and then Sidney wins the overall over 70 division, and I believe his daughter was in the audience, and she really got a lot of attention because she was screaming so loud for her father. Sidney was 71 years old, and he looked just amazing, and he was very emotional when he won. Then they go into the over 60 class, and Rich Rabin, who won the over 70, wins again. He wins the over 60. Gary Roginski had no competition winning the middleweight class, and he did not look his age at all. Gary looked like he was like in his late 40s, full head of hair, very young looking face, and very lean and ripped. Then the heavyweight class went to Ron Maseth, and Ron had some incredible arms. What great arm development on this guy. Peaked biceps, looked like he was in his 40s. Great physique. So the Masters 60 overall, no surprise, went to Ron Maseth. And Ron won that pretty easily because he had his rib condition and those huge arms. And then we go into the over 50, the young guys. The lightweight class went to Julian Rodriguez, who is a veteran competitor in the Florida area, and he beat out Anthony Licari, who won his class the week before at the Miami Classic. And then the middleweight class of the over 50, Walker Stradley was the overall only winner. And then the over 50 heavyweight, very impressive, Samuel Bramblett, who actually came from Georgia. And I talked to Samuel after the show. I interviewed him. He's been competing since 1987, I believe. He started training and he competed for quite a few years and then took off like 12 years. So his body is fresh and ready to go. And he's 52 years old in the best shape of his life. And Samuel was big guy. Competed almost 220 pounds on stage. did not, again, like most of these guys, did not look his age at all. And then Samuel Bramblatt wins the overall over 50. Then going to the over 40, some really good competition here. The lightweight class went to Jimmy DeCesis Norris, who was another frequent competitor on the Florida scene. And Jimmy had a fantastic routine, a little bit of breakdancing, had the crowd going crazy. And as always, was in outstanding condition. Jimmy is always ripped for every show he does. Scott Peskin was the first place winner in the middleweight class of the over 40. And then our friend Brian Garrison won the heavyweight class, and I got to tell you guys, this was one of the most competitive classes of the whole weekend. Joel Perrette was in second place, and Norberto Rivera was in third place. Joel was ripped to shreds with an incredible V shape, super small waist, wide shoulders, and Norberto Rivera was as thick as a brick house, man. This guy was rock hard abs, super thick development, great shape. So what an incredible top three. But Brian Garrison, great bodybuilder, great symmetry, great shape. As I told you, he reminds me of a young Ronnie Coleman before Ronnie got super big. Brian has a small waist, wide shoulders, great leg development, just incredible shape and symmetry. And this time he really brought extra conditioning. He's been working with Coach AJ Sims, the conditioning specialist, and you could really tell the difference because Brian was in outstanding condition, and he needed it today to beat out this tough competition. And then in the over 40 overall, Brian Garrison, no surprise, was the overall winner in that division. Then we go into the over 35, the younger guys. Jimmy DeCesis Norris again wins the lightweight class in the over 35. Scott Peskin, the winner in the over 40, again wins the class in the middleweight class. And then the heavyweight again, Brian Garrison takes first place in the over 35. And then the overall over 35, Brian Garrison was the winner. And then, no surprise, Brian Garrison wins the overall Masters Men's Bodybuilding. So, can't say enough about these Masters Men's Bodybuilding competitors. There's outstanding condition, great, incredible bodies, and a real testament to the sport of bodybuilding as far as looking great at any age. All right, then they had a Masters Women's Bodybuilding, and our good friend Dr. Josefina Monasterio did her salsa routine again, really got the crowd going. Dr. Josefina is now over 70. I think she's 70 years old this year, and she's getting better and better. Her leg development was really rock hard, and she looks fantastic. She has contagious energy that everybody feels good watching Dr. Josefina. It's always great to see her compete. So she was the only competitor in the Masters Women's Bodybuilding over 50, and then the Masters Women's Bodybuilding over 40, a very big competitor, Nuria Evans. And then Nuria Evans wins the overall Masters Women's Bodybuilding. And then they had an open women's bodybuilding, same two competitors. Dr. Josefina Monasterio wins the lightweight class, and Nuria Evans wins the heavyweight class with the same result. Nuria Evans winning the overall women's bodybuilding. So congratulations to both those competitors. Teen men's bodybuilding, the lightweight class was won by Scott Huss. The middleweight class went to Edward Vargas. And the heavyweight class went to Nivaldo Menendez. And then in the overall, Edward Vargas wins the overall, but then halfway through the show they found out that Edward was actually not a teenager, and so he was disqualified, and the overall was instead given to Scott Hess, who was second in the overall. They also gave out a Most Promising Teen award that they've always given out at this contest, and that went to Nivaldo Menendez. All right, then we move into the women's physique. They had a Masters division, only over 30. It was pretty competitive, and Randy Stockdill, who competed in the figure the day before and took, I believe, third place, Randy wins first place in the women's physique Masters. And then in the women's physique open, in Class A, Randy Stockdale wins again, and in Class B, Candace Jackson was the winner, and Candace had a lot of muscle. Could have been a little bit harder, but great muscular development all over her physique. Big arms, big legs, and in the overall, Randy Stockdale wins the overall because she was a little bit more defined, but Candace Jackson, great physique, so if she can come in a little bit harder next time, she's definitely got the muscle mass for that. All right, then we go into the novice men's bodybuilding division. Again, very competitive. Dorian Fernandez, who did good the week before at the Miami Classic, he takes first place. Dorian had a great physique, not a big guy at all, but looked really good, especially in his front double bicep and his most muscular. He was really in great condition, and he's got good shape. Jesse Westboro was the winner in the middleweight class, And the heavyweight class went to Nero Di La Rua, who I believe was from Sweden. I heard somebody in the audience say he was from Sweden. I can't confirm that. But Nero had incredible leg development, some of the biggest legs on stage that night, and good condition also. But surprisingly, in the overall, Dorian Fernandez was the overall winner because Dorian was just so ripped, and with his great shape and symmetry, he looked outstanding despite the difference in the weight. So Dorian Fernandez wins the overall novice men's bodybuilding, so congratulations to him. Then they went into the Classic Physique, and in this contest, the Southern States, the Classic Physique was the most competitive I've seen all year. I haven't really been too impressed with some of the Classic Physique competitions I've seen on the local area, but at the Southern States, it was really outstanding. They had a Masters division over 50, and that went to Desmond Bain. He looked really good. And then in the over 40 Masters Physique, Sam Yahia, who actually won the very first Classic Physique in the Florida area, which was the Outdoor Classic, Richie Alvarez's show, which was the first contest that took place in January. So Sam works with, again, AJ Sims, the conditioning specialist, and his conditioning was really outstanding, and Sam wins first place in the overall Masters men's physique. Teen division, and Logan Hamilton was the winner there. They had some really good winners there. I want to mention also Richard Rogers, who was in third place, posing to the music that Mohamed McAway used at the 1984 Mr. Olympia. So good job, Richard, for bringing back the classics. I always got to love that. Then the Classic Physique Novice, again, very, very competitive division here. Pablo Gonzalez, one of the best physiques I saw all weekend. Pablo was in the men's physique division and took third, but he really shined in Classic Physique. Had a good muscular physique, great legs, great abs, nice deep abs, great symmetry, and really good posing. So I was very, very impressed with Pablo Gonzalez, and he wins Class A. Arturo Mendez, the very competitive and excellent bodybuilder from the South Florida area, dropped down in weight, looked like a little bit, and competed in Classic Physique, which he was talking about doing before, and then he decided he was going to go into bodybuilding. But Arturo changed his mind, obviously, and went over to Classic Physique, and he did really, really well. He's got a great physique for Classic Physique. He didn't look small at all if he did drop weight. He's still got huge arms, and he can really hit those classic poses, including that three-quarter back pose. So he wins Class B. But the overall Classic Physique Novice, again, goes to Pablo Gonzalez, which I was not surprised. Pablo, again, outstanding condition, great physique. Then they go into the Classic Physique Open, and this was very competitive, especially Class A. They had about 6 or 7 outstanding bodybuilders, or I'm sorry, Classic Physique competitors, I should say, all competing for the overall title. And Pablo Gonzalez, again, wins first place. And I got to mention the second place guy who really impressed me, Corey Washington. Not a big guy, but really good shape and really, really conditioned, really ripped. And Tori had a good routine too. He posed to a medley of songs from Prince, so that was entertaining to see. Sam Yahia wins Class B, our Masters winner, and then Arturo Mendez wins Class C, and that was also very competitive. They had a great pose down. I don't know how close it was in the judging, but Sam Yahia wins the overall because of his excellent conditioning and great leg development. Pablo Gonzalez and Arturo Mendez also looked really outstanding. So again, I was really impressed with the Classic Physique division at the Southern States. I think this division really has some potential and really has some promise, and I really didn't believe it until I saw this show last weekend at the Southern States. So I'm really excited about the future for Classic Physique. There's some outstanding physiques up there who are really competitive, and I think it's going to be really outstanding in the future. All right, and then we finished off with the men's open bodybuilding. Always a great class. Always some really great bodybuilders that come out of the Southern States. In the bantamweight class, Brian DiBiaso was the winner. And then Dorian Fernandez, our novice bodybuilding winner, he wins the lightweight class. The middleweight class went to Jimmy DeCesis Norris, who always a great bodybuilder, but I think this was his best I've ever seen him. He was really, really shredded this time. Julio Melville, another great physique, really ripped, good leg development, and Julio did good winning his class the week before at the Miami Classic, and he wins here also in the middleweight class. And then speaking of the Miami Classic, Edgar Hernandez, who won the overall at the Miami Classic, also takes first place here in the light heavyweight class. Brett, who was in the Masters, he takes second place. And Jose Fernandez, another excellent physique. He was in third place, so that was a very tough class. Going into the heavyweight class, Brian Garrison again wins. One of the best physiques Brian's ever shown on stage. Great shape, great symmetry, good muscle mass, and outstanding condition this time. And then in the super heavyweight class, Jason Fletcher was the winner there. But then in the overall, it looked to be very close between Brian Garrison and Edgar Hernandez, and Edgar Hernandez pulls off the overall win. So congratulations to him. Probably his biggest victory of his career, and we wish him the best of luck. He's going to take the rest of the year off, try and come back to the Nationals next year a little bit bigger. So great condition, great competition, awesome contest at the NPC Southern States. I always love going to the show, and was really lived up to its name this year. Competitor numbers, I think, were a little bit down from last year, but the quality is always there. Like I said, this is like a national level show. So if you've never seen the Southern States, make plans to go out there next year. All right, that's it for this week's edition of the Florida Physique Report. Thanks for watching, and we will be back next week with results from the Ancient City Classic, which takes place this weekend out in St. Augustine, Florida. So I will be there covering that show. We'll have the results and the photos from that next week on the Florida Physique Report. Have a great weekend, everybody. We will see you next week.